Hey everyone, hope that you're well and that you've had a good week. Sure, it's been a really challenging one for many of us as new COVID regulations have kind of kicked in and we've not been able to see each other. And of course that means for the foreseeable future, it means that we're not going to be able to meet together as an entire community, entire congregation in our church building. So that's kind of really quite challenging at the moment. It only seems like 2 or 3 weeks ago when we were able to be together in the park for that picnic and that time together and talk about where we have come from and talk about where we are going and some of the things that are in place with that. And it was such a sweet time together. I hope you enjoyed it. I did too. We had hoped to be able to meet the week after for our 20th anniversary, but of course we weren't able to meet face to face with that. So some of us caught up online, some of us talked a little bit on the phone, but we weren't able to meet all together. It is still our intention to celebrate our 20th anniversary when we can be together, but of course we don't know when that is going to be. So we will hold that in place, and whenever we can make it, we'll have the best party, the best celebration that we can have. In the meantime, you may remember on that day we talked about moving forward as a community, and we've all had a chance now to talk about what that might look like and how we might do that. If you feel you haven't had that chance, then get in contact with me and we can talk a little bit more. And we know that the general trend or trajectory of the things that we're doing is to meet a little bit in small groups and less often on a Sunday, although we will still be meeting on a Sunday. And I gave you the reflections of our evaluation from people's opinions at that meeting. So we are still going to meet on a Sunday, it's just not going to be every Sunday. Of course, at the moment we can't even meet on Sunday, so it feels like the next step for us as a church community is to organise behind the scenes how we can start to meet in small groups. Not that we can do it right now, but so that when the restrictions lift a little bit, we can meet in small groups, and then we can work out how to meet together as a wider community. So here's what we need from you. If you want to be involved in meeting in a small group, then you just need to let me know. If you want to be involved in what we're going to be doing as we move forwards into missional groups and meeting in local communities, then just get in contact, let me know you're involved, let me know you want to be involved, and what we can do from that is we can start to kind of work out which groups will meet where and how that will look. The other thing that I need from you, and we might need from you as we go forward, is you remember when we met in the park that we talked about as a community we had all agreed to live in a certain way, and that was living with this thing we call Tempo. So I'll put that in the email, to live with Tempo, and I'll put the template in there. Some of you had asked specifically what you had asked what you were signing up to, and you asked us to define that for you, and so we've defined that for you using that word Tempo. Again, if you've not seen that before, have a look at the email, have a look at the attachments. If you need more information about that, then let me know. But as we go forward, we're convinced that as individuals and families, if we live with this thing Tempo, and if we live with that in our small groups, we'll see the maximum difference that we can for the Lord and for the kingdom. So that's where we're heading. At the moment, there is no overriding church service, there's no overriding entire community service. We don't know when that's going to come back, but it is our intention for it to come back, and when it does come back, we will celebrate our 20th anniversary. In the meantime, we want to get organised so that we can meet in small missional groups. So if you want to be involved in that expression of church, then let us know, and we'll get that organised behind the scenes so that when the restrictions lift, and we hope they will soon, then we can move straight into meeting as smaller missional groups. The final thing I want to say to you is that over this week I have been looking again at that verse from Psalm 16, written again in Acts chapter 2, and I'll put the references there to you because I've missed them just in this conversation. Just around that whole idea that where David writes, "My soul shall live in hope because I have an awareness of the presence of God." I'll make it make sense in the emails again. I've talked about it for a couple of weeks, but that whole thread and thought about being hopeful and living with hope and what that will do to us is something that's certainly kind of dominating my thoughts at the moment. And the hope that we have because of Jesus and the hope that we have because of a resurrected Saviour might be something that is going to help you to think about. I'll put some thoughts about that out this week, and I'll put some thoughts on the email that you're watching right now, and hopefully that will bless you. Hope to see you really, really soon. And we will be doing some Zoom conversations on a Sunday morning. If you want to connect with them, that's great. If that's not really for you, then let it go past, and hopefully we'll see you soon. God bless you and have a wonderful week. Thanks, bye.